Remember that one time our cage didn't get certified and now we got to rectify that issue? Yeah, me too. So after my freezy, I don't know, some of you guys call them icy pops, we're gonna get at that. Take all the interior out first.
Granted, there's not much interior, but the seat and the carpet definitely have to come out.
Seat and carpet. What size are those? Any size.
Any size hammer.
It's always the perfect size. You guys want to see a cool way to find out what size Torx bit you need? I've seen this on TikTok. Just put your finger inside the Torx. That big. T50. Yep, it was the one.
All right, I went ahead and I had to rip the headliner out, or else we wouldn't be able to get the torch behind this pipe up here. This pipe is actually only welded 50, maybe 60%. Like I can feel that there's no weld on the top of that pipe. And then these two pipes are actually the wrong size to be gussets, and then some of them aren't even welded the full way around, so those have to come out. Same thing on this side. This one is welded maybe 60%, and we took the headliner out so we can get the torch in there. These need to be 75% with gussets, and once again, these gussets are not the right size, and it's not even welded fully all the way around. The next thing is the D-bars that come down here to the transmission tunnel. They need to be planted as 6x6 plates. They are literally just planted to the sheet metal, so that is no good. I don't think there's anything underneath that. So we have to cut these, slide some plates underneath, weld those to the floor, weld the bar to that plate. These ones are main hoop, which is kind of scary. Those are not welded on the back sides either, so we have to try and get the TIG torch in there, weld the back side of this thing, maybe clean that up and throw another weld on there too, because it doesn't look like it penetrated that well. And then the floor bar, not this one specifically, but the same one on the other side is not welded on the bottom side either, so that has to be welded on the bottom side. And he said for brownie points, if we add a bar from here to here, it'll definitely help.
So we've got our work cut out for us, might as well get started.
Ain't nothing to it but to do it. Might need a better battery than that. So before I grind this down, you can see that only half of that was welded. You gotta use safety when you're using the grinder app. Grinder. Earplugs, face thingamajigger, mask that I can't see out of. Well, it might have been a little barbaric, but we did use the plasma cutter to undo this weld. It was definitely welded directly to sheet metal, both sides. What I'm gonna try and do, I think, is tap the sheet metal up a little bit, get underneath with the grinder to clean up the pipe, tap the sheet metal back down, slide our plate underneath, and then do it that way.
Now I went ahead and cut up some 6x6 plates. The annoying part now is going to be able to slide this thing underneath that thing. I'm going to have to do a little bit of banging. I'm going to have to clean up that pipe a little bit more also. But this turned out to be way
more annoying than first anticipated. Do your cages right the first time. And just for the record, this cage came from the States somewhere. Nobody in Canada had touched this cage, so whoever built it in the States, that's on you, bro. I hate you. I literally hate you. Hate's a bad word, but you built junk. And then you were like, yeah, I did a good job. Probably cracked a couple beers with your buddies. Wrong. You did a bad job. Or you were drunk when you did it. One of the two. I swear that wasn't an eternity. Wow, look at me. I swear that was like 1,000,000 pounds of grinding dust and an eternity.
But we've got the D-bar plates in place. They need to be welded in, and then this bar needs to be welded to those plates.
I got so many metal splinters right now. That was like a double one. It was like 2 pieces of metal in one spot. But I actually had to get underneath the car, use a die grinder up through the little hole to trim down the pipe so I could trim 1/8 of an inch off it so I could slide the plate underneath of it. See, the hardest part
is there was no good angle to get a grinder in here because half of that's solid. So now that might have been the hardest part to do, besides maybe trying to weld the backside of this while it's painted. Well, we've got it welded. The very, very tippy top was a little bit bubbly just because the argon coverage up there, the way you had to tilt the lens. But I might add the supports anyways, but the pipe is fully welded now instead of 60%.
And 100% is way more percent than 60%. Believe it. If I'm being honest, this is one of the most frustrating things I've ever had to do. So far, I've been trying to work on the things that are the hardest, so it's gonna frustrate me even more. I put a couple gussets up there because I couldn't completely weld the top of that tube, so you need 2 gussets. And then the other side, I'm actually gonna put 2 gussets as well, even though I could weld the whole tube. I just didn't want it to be odd. And then I did grind out a bunch of this weld, like the junk weld. I got it right down into the groove, and then I re-welded over it, and got some real good penetration in there. Realistically, I probably have like 8 hours into this thing. I am super, super sweaty. I should get this off my nose. Which is a lot of dicking around. The biggest frustration is the fact that someone would sell this. That's dangerous, man. That's my biggest frustration. And every time I get into a situation where something gets tough, I'm like, I just keep thinking about like, this never should have happened. We gotta weld the backside of the pipe, and I can see why it hasn't been welded on the backside, because the stupid asses planted it way too far back. So I've tried beating this in to get the torch behind there, and honestly, I've just made a bigger mess out of it than what was originally intended. So I'm wondering if I can cut a piece of this piece out right here and fully get the torch behind there, because I can't get the right angle on it, basically. So if I can just cut a piece of this sheet metal out and then maybe plate it in after, maybe not, I don't know. That might be my best bet.
You going pipelining, bro?
Pipelining. I don't know how to stick weld, and I don't know how to MIG weld. That doesn't need to be on for now.
It smells like Halloween with youngsters.
Oh, sparklers?
Like you're just hammering a set of sparklers over here. So you want to explain to people what you're trying?
We might try and get a stick weld on the back. There's like this much weld on the back side of the pipe that we can't really get at.
So you're missing 6 inches on an 1.5 inch pipe?
Yeah, 6 inches. It's in a really weird spot. And I've already foobarred it a couple times, so this is my last attempt before I actually cut a big piece of sheet metal out of the back of it so I can actually get the torch in the back side of it.
But if you guys remember Garrett with the talon, and it's a chicken with large talons, he actually had suggested a stick welder, and I think a couple of other people did as well. And that's what they do, is they'll use a stick welder and then bend the rod to get into those places, because it doesn't need to look pretty.
No.
It just needs to be penetrated. And if I know anything about things that need to be penetrated, sometimes it doesn't need to be quality, it just needs to do the job.
Don't make her fall in love with you.
Yeah, you don't want to make her fall in love, right?
A flat screwdriver on a Robinson screw.
So Kyle's working on this side of the garage. The panel's over there, and as I'm walking past the lawnmower, I'm like, hey, can we turn the breaker off? And then I hear bzzz, and the lights go off in the garage. And Kyle's like, oh, there's the breaker.
Yeah, so I don't know if I turn the breaker off here or inside. Did I flick that one of those?
I don't see any of them flicked.
I'm gonna have to go inside.
Hey Kyle, can we hit the breaker before you mess with that electrical plug? Idiot. I'm not sure how electrical works, but shouldn't the sub panel pop breakers before the house that feeds the sub panel? I'm gonna go turn those off now. 0 sugar, 0 caffeine. These are the tits. So if old Pegleg was here, he probably would have said, you don't need to worry about flicking off the breaker.
I was barely in danger. I barely risked my life there.
But my question to the electrical folks, why did the breaker in the house go and not the breaker in the panel for the garage?
The breaker in the house is probably weaker than the one in the panel. They're both 30 amps.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's not safe.
I mean, it did its job, did it not?
I mean, the one in the house did. Are you going to try any more stick welding, or are you just going to get in there and give her 100%? Good. All right.
What's 0% of 100%?
I'm on hot standby with the fire extinguisher as you make sparklers. So we made a phone call to a friend from back east who does welding to get a suggestion for amps. And he said 60 amps for 120 wall, which is good because the internet said almost double that.
Come on, Ricky. Oh God, it looks so bad.
It's hard to see, but it's so smoky in here. Stick welding is really, really a lot smokier than TIG or MIG. So here we have a classic story of our lives. It doesn't look really good, but it's achieved 100% penetration.
Which is not much.
Which isn't much. But it doesn't have to be much.
No. Which, I mean, I'm going to try and clean it up a little bit.
What, you can't? You can probably get in there with a die grinder and...
I can't.
No?
No.
So then what's the other things left to do?
Weld those plates in the floor?
Well, for the D-bars, right?
Yeah.
This is the position that he has to get into. Get the ABCs of welding. Always be comfortable. That's not comfortable. Getting some love on that floor plate. Yep. So now he's got the old MIG welder out.
Don't judge me that I can't MIG weld, okay? I definitely cannot MIG weld. I don't know how.
I seen you stack dimes on a TIG.
Well,
But you
I'm trying
can't
the hard
MIG
spot.
worth a frig.
True. Can I have that light that's right there?
No. You've done more with a MIG in 2 passes than you did with the TIG. And it was just
4 hours?
all on setup.
Yeah. Maybe I do know how to MIG, I'm not good at reading instructions.
Well, I mean, especially since you're not even MIGing with the proper MIG gas.
True. Okay, let's do some hammering now.
What are you hammering?
Hammering that pussy.
It's probably not going to work. Good.
What?
Good.
I know what.
You got to get the backside more now.
Yeah.
You knew right the spot to hit. In and up.
In and up. Hit that spot. Squirt.
I can't believe how quick wig welding is.
MIG welding?
Yeah.
Wig welding?
Wig welding. Man. MIG welding is faster.
Way faster.
Yeah, that doesn't look bad.
This one needs the hammer. I mean, really, we could go pick up the Honda today, too.
Oh, hey there, bud. Sorry, I forgot I wasn't supposed to disturb you when you're cleaning your room.
What? Oh, the vacuum?
Kyle's doing a lot of prep to get the plate to meet the floor and the floor to meet the plate,
And then,
and then cleaning it.
yeah, because it didn't get all the paint out. You start welding over paint, it doesn't go good at all.
Welding over paint smells terrible too. Get that elbow into it. Yeah.
I think I got it.
Over 9,000?
Over 9,000.
I get that joke now.
Do you? Because you watched the Dragon Ball?
I watched the clip of the over 9,000. I don't have the time to watch all the Dragon Ball. We got some rolling thunder. Big time.
Nope. For some reason, it does not want to, so I'm not gonna.
Well, because you'd have to turn it up.
Yeah, extra safe. But, like anything down on the bottom, that wasn't really. Oh my god, am I dirty? Or the mullet? The mullet. The mullet. Wow, it's really raining out, isn't it?
Yeah, dude.
Have you ever seen? This is called the welder's tan. So I'm not tanned from here down,
Dude, in your
but
arm.
I'm tanned from here to here.
Idiot.
So I'm tanned from here to here. That is the weirdest cousin-ass backwards tan you've ever seen. And I tore myself yesterday doing CrossFit.
You were doing CrossFit. Gina was in Edmonton. Haha, yeah. Busted.
That should be everything, though. You did say bonus point at a bar from there to there, but it's not needed. What I was just doing? There's like one little piece here that I'm trying to knock off.
Yeah. You're using a screwdriver and an any size wrench.
No, that's not a screwdriver. That's a chisel.
And in any size wrench is a hammer.
Yeah.
So Kyle wasn't happy with the weld penetration on the down of the forward bar for the door. So.
How many amps am I at?
106.
Can you put it down to like 70?
Yep. Okay, you're on 70. I got your rod, bro.
Oh, thanks, bro.
It's the only way to get to the bottom side of this bar. Because they didn't weld, I don't know, 30% of this one too.
I'm just doing up my pants because I was doing a wiener.
All right, longest 2 days of my life. Look at my friggin' hair. That was the most stress ever. Let me just run it down for you real quick. Let me get this. There's something playing on my phone right now? Yep.
I was wondering what was playing.
Let me get this black spot on my nose again. All right. This one here at the front wasn't fully welded. I had to weld the bottom of the front one here. I also had to weld the bottom of the front one over there, but then I did go over the whole thing on both sides just to make sure that the weld penetrated fully. We fixed up a bunch of the welds here, so I ground it down until I could see basically where it was welded without trying to get any of the parent material down, and then re-welded all that up. Added plates to our D-bars here, so I actually had to cut the bar, slide a plate underneath, weld the plate in, weld those in. And then the tops of each of these, this one's welded 60%, that one's welded 50%. This one's now welded 100 over here. That one was welded 50, and it's welded like 95. So I added gussets, and then I added gussets on this side even though I didn't need them, just to match the other side. So gussets all across the top. And then the back side of this pipe I welded, and then the back side of that pipe I welded. So out of the 1, 2, 3, 4, out of all the pipes, it was only the front pipe welded to the bottom that was fully welded. Yeah, those are fully welded, the ones that plant to the front. But they weren't fully welded on this side. So no bar in this cage. Actually, maybe the rear ones. No bar in the front of this cage was welded right.
But now it is.
And this car will only ever have an 850 cert, so.
Well, because it's not chromoly, right?
Well, a mild can get to 25.5, but
You hate
not
this
the
car.
way this, yeah, not the way it is now. I hope you loved my struggle bus there. I don't even know how much footage there is in this video, to be honest, because I spent a lot of time cursing, and my neighbors probably heard me say the F-bomb, frig, about 47 times.
Though.
2 dick jokes? Perfect.
At least.
The winner for the pit trike has been decided. His name is Garrett, so if you're not named Garrett, then it's not you. I have contacted him already, and I'm going to deliver it to him. Make sure you like the video. Peace easy. Good day.